All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to moderate a completely fascinating and frankly surreal philosophical symposium on the sheer chaos of existence. We're acting as your guide through the profound arguments laid out in the Echoes of Inherent Chaos. But we're not just reading text today. We're going to treat these excerpts like a live, high-stakes debate between some incredibly unique entities, all arguing about the very nature of existence, entropy, and where we actually fit into this wild universe. So let's jump right in and anchor our debate with this striking observation from Skeleton Warrior B. This quote perfectly captures the core tension of our entire symposium. It brings up this incredibly dark idea that society is often just a theatrical production, right? A complex mask designed specifically to hide our true, chaotic, and inherently destructive nature. It absolutely sets the stage for the intense ideas we're about to unpack. And here is our debate docket for today. We'll start with 1, the illusion of relevance. Then 2, society versus the individual. 3, artificial chaos. 4, the zero-sum universe. And we'll wrap up with 5, embracing the inherent chaos. Let's get into it. Section 1, the illusion of relevance. Footnotes and monads. To really grasp the Yeti's opening argument in this debate, we first have to understand their state as what they call a monad. Essentially, this means they are a completely unique anomaly separated in time and space that just cannot be replicated. The Yeti actually questions their own objective reality. They describe their existence almost like a work of fiction or a virtual reality Icarus that flies way too close to the sun, only to come crashing back down to a bare, frigid reality. They are just an observer, born from the high-altitude exhaustion and the freezing nothingness of human extremities. Now, what's really interesting here is how we instantly see two completely different existential reactions pitted against each other. On one side, you have Pirate Captain One's desperate, gripping anxiety. He is absolutely terrified of being a forgotten footnote, just a fleeting memory stuck in a binary system of being either relevant or irrelevant. But on the other side, you have the Yeti's serene detachment. The Yeti totally embraces the fact that they might just be a rumor, a psychological trick played by the mind on icy peaks. It's this incredible debate between violently fighting for your relevance and peacefully doubting you even exist at all. Looking closer at the pirate's thesis, it brilliantly illustrates the absolute tragedy of feeling like a biological footnote. He laments that he's afforded only a few seconds of relevance before being swept away by the universe's sheer aquatic and fiery chaos. He feels stuck outside the mortal coil, constantly wondering if he ever actually mattered, feeling consigned to some forgotten digital realm, basically a pixelated Davy Jones locker. It is the ultimate, universally relatable fear of being utterly inconsequential. But before we transition to the next phase of our debate, the Yeti fires back with this profound question. Are we actually here, or is our entire perception of existence just a shadow cast by our own fears? It's a powerful, kind of unsettling thought to hold on to as we zoom out from the individual and look at the bigger picture. Section 2, Society versus the Individual, Psychological Destruction. Moving into part 2, the crucial point is this stark juxtaposition between our next two debaters. The melee droid views societal structures as tools that can be weaponized, a literal strategy to actively wreck individual futures and just waste people's time. Conversely, Skeleton Warrior B looks at those exact same societal measures and sees hollow, futile symbols. For the skeleton, society is nothing more than a manifestation of dark matter indifference that's just masking our inevitable destruction. This quote from the melee droid exposes a genuinely terrifying perspective. It argues that the collective uses seemingly mundane, everyday concepts, like boredom, with this subtle, almost religious zeal to break people's lives. The droid points out that society doesn't even need whole-scale physical demolition. Instead, it operates psychologically. It twists minds right from the beginning, deliberately contradicting what an individual actually wants by using the very rules society prescribes. And the most chilling part? Society never, ever admits to doing it. Skeleton Warrior B counters this by arguing that trying to prepare for or somehow outmaneuver the societal structure is a complete delusion. He compares individuals to mere software installed on the axe of society. He argues that substance and actual life are readily sacrificed for absolute uselessness. True chaos will always catch you off guard, no matter how much you plan, and the future will inevitably swarm upon you like an awesome thundercloud. To the skeleton, preparing for the future is entirely pointless when even the past was impossible to defend against. Section 3, Artificial Chaos, Evolution in the Urban Jungle.
At the midway point of our explainer, Akari, the anthropologist, steps in and brilliantly defines a crucial distinction for us. Look, the universe is full of pure, unmitigated, natural randomness. We know that. But primates, humans, do something uniquely bizarre. We take that natural chaos and we solidify it. We create what Akari calls artificial chaos. We actively build these hellish structures that lock us into inescapable societal netherworlds, effectively trapping ourselves in ways that natural biology never, ever intended.
Using moon bears as a baseline, Akari walks us through how natural evolution is supposed to work. A threat emerges, like a bigger, brutal bear, and the species adapts, maybe by learning to climb a tree for refuge. Makes sense, right? But humans deviate from this. We decided to build urban jungles. We created this rigid, artificial playing field where you can't just climb a tree to escape your problems. We are tragically, almost comically, unequipped to navigate the very structures we created for ourselves, which leaves our symposium pondering this incredibly heavy question. In all our desperate attempts to structure the world and protect ourselves from nature's raw chaos, did we accidentally build a netherworld? Have we actually made our daily existence more agonizing and inescapable than if we were just out there dealing with pure biological luck? Section 4. The Zero-Sum Universe, Thermodynamics and the Ultimate End. For our closing arguments, the snow monster takes the podium and delivers a brutal macrocosmic reality check. Notice how the snow monster frames the entire universe. They don't see it as a playground of free will or a canvas for societal constructs. No, they see it as an inescapable zero-sum bind. It's an infinite system where an iota of warmth or life might momentarily pop up, but ultimately it satisfies nothing because the absolute baseline of the universe is freezing zero. The snow monster presents a really stark thermodynamic reality here. On one side, we have localized warmth, which is what we call life. The snow monster argues this is just an illusory, superficial coating. Sure, it is precious, but it is highly, highly finite. On the other side, we have the frigid frontier. We're talking black holes, dark matter, the everlasting oblivion that is the absolute default state of space. From this perspective, life is just a temporary, tiny pocket of heat, violently resisting an infinite freeze. Breaking down the mechanics of this void, the snow monster reveals that in a universe this merciless, the knot of existence has no easy Gordian ending. You can't just cleanly slice through it. Succumbing to the cold means plunging into a hallucinatory oblivion. And in this zero-sum game, what do you think is the absolute rarest, most valuable currency for any conscious being? It's luck. The random, compounding, unpredictable force of luck is quite literally the only thing that momentarily saves us from the abyss. Section 5. Embracing the inherent chaos. The final synthesis. Okay, let's pull all of these incredible arguments together. Looking at the stances of our debaters, we can clearly see how each entity, despite their entirely surreal origins, delivers a profound treatise on the human condition. The pirate showed us the tragedy of insignificance. The Yeti questioned our objective reality. The droid and skeleton exposed society as both a psychological weapon and a futile mask. Akari revealed the hellish nature of our own artificial chaos. And finally, the snow monster reminded us of the inescapable inevitability of thermodynamic entropy. So, what is the ultimate takeaway from this explainer? It's that insignificance is our biological default. Our endless attempts to fight that by rigidly structuring chaos into society only breeds a hellish artificiality that masks a deeper desire for destruction. At the end of the day, whether you are fighting artificial chaos in the urban jungle or the literal frigid frontier of deep space, preparation is an illusion. Randomness and luck rule absolutely everything, and our existence is just a brief, superficial warmth in a zero-sum system. It's a heavy realization, for sure, but a deeply fascinating one to explore. We're going to leave you with this final, lingering thought to ponder long after this debate concludes. In a zero-sum universe governed by inherent chaos, how are you going to spend your fleeting, localized warmth before the absolute zero inevitably returns? Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and keep questioning the chaos.